Crude oil, a fossil fuel resource deriving from the death of large quantities of organisms buried underneath the Earth's surface for literally thousands of years. Americans consume 20 million barrels of oil each day. The problem today is what Americans will do with $5, $6, and inevitable $10 per gallon gasoline. We saw a massive increase in gasoline prices during the stock market crash in 2007 and 8. This was a key factor along with flat wage growth for those who remained employed in breaking the backs of American consumers. In a matter of 8 months, America saw exponential growth in the average price per gallon from around $2.80 to $4.12. Profit margins for truck drivers and individuals whose businesses and works rely on the use of fossil fuels inversely responded to the rising cost of fuel during this time. According to the National Travel Household Survey, on average, Americans drove 36 miles per day in 2009. The average car in America gets about 20 miles per gallon. In March of 2009, gas prices on average were $2 per gallon, which means every day individuals will be spending approximately $3.61 on fuel. This would be $25.27 per week, $110 a month, and $1,314 a year. Today's average price in America is $3.92 per gallon. For the same daily miles traveled, Americans would be paying $7.08 per day, $49.57 a week, $215 per month, and $2,578 in a year. This totals an increase of over $1,200 per year in fuel costs, meaning the cost to drive has nearly doubled in the last 3 years. This is for certain an unsustainable price increase that the American consumer cannot continue to absorb.
I've been here for 1.5 years and I've seen the increase of the gas a lot. When I came, from what I remember, it was $2.99 per gallon. And now it's like over 4, it's like $4.40, $4.50, so it's just crazy.
We saw gas triple from $1.40 at the end of the 1990s to where it is today. The same cannot be said of wages. Take truck drivers, for instance, who were used to filling up for around $2.20 a gallon for diesel 3 years ago, and who saw a national average over twice this amount at $4.72 in 2008. In a normally healthy economy, this cost would be passed on to the consumer, but what we saw was increasing unemployment, flooding the market with workers and driving truckers' wages down, effectively making it impossible for many truck drivers to stay in business.
I'm making $8.50 an hour coming down here, and wish ain't no jobs in LA and where I live as like that, so I got to come down here to work. I do about $160 a week on gas. My breaking point's 10 more cents. 10 more cents, I'm done. I got to quit my job. I can't do it no more.
Trucks deliver 70% of all freight transported in the U.S., accounting for $671 billion worth of manufacturing goods shipped within the United States alone. These rising gas prices are not only a problem for the trucking industry, but also for airlines, taxi services, retail services, restaurants, car dealers, hairstylists, government, and many other industries. Liquid fuels are an integral part of economic sustainability when we see prices rise. The butterfly effect will resonate through almost all aspects of the economy. If gas goes up by $1, this translates into $100 billion in additional household energy spending. This would reduce annual GDP growth by about 1%. As the prices at the pump continue to climb, another industry that could break down will be real estate.
Basically, difficult to maintain, and it's not just suburbs, it's just basically anything that we've built after the 1920s. I mean, from the highway system, the massive parking lots, the big box stores, the Walmarts, the Costco's, the Sam's Clubs, the Home Depots, the McMansion cookie cutter housing subdivisions, all this other stuff, all this other cluster we've built, they're going to be very, very increasingly dysfunctional.
Because the cost of fuel has historically been cheap, the option to live 30 minutes to an hour away from work has been plausible.
I live in the Stockton area. I commute to Sacramento, which is about 45 miles. Gas prices now are about $4.15, $4.25. So a month in gas, I'm spending about $400 to $500 in gas alone, just commuting back and forth to work. That's not even counting in the personal mileage. When I first started working, I was spending $300 a month in gas. If it was $7, you know, it would be no way that I would be able to commute. Either I'd have to carpool some type of way, or I'd just have to relocate, find another job, different position.
FutureMoneyTrends.com believes that America is approaching its breaking point, where a systemic breakdown in the economic system will result in another step down in the economy, felt first by the poor and middle class. The price projection that we believe this will happen is a national average price of $5 per gallon. Already millions are crossing their breaking point at the current national average of only $3.92 per gallon.
You know, I work at an automotive trade school. Our population is well over 1,000 students, and there is a significant amount of them that are commuter population, so they're coming from the outlying areas, but you know, we go out to the Bay Area, South Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, so there are quite a few people that are coming from outside those areas, and the amount of money that they're putting into fuel, you know, every day, all week, all month, pretty significant amount. And you know, I talk to these students quite a bit about this proposal. We have plenty of them that are hurting for gas, and any more increases are going to hurt them tremendously.
Me, gas prices affect me pretty significantly. I travel from Roseville to here, so it's like 25 miles each way. Even though I got a Honda and it gets pretty good gas mileage, it's still they're still gouging us. If gas completely spiked over like $5-6, I mean, I would definitely look for other alternatives.
I live in Rockland, about 30 miles away. My gas bill, though, is higher than about any other bill that I got right now. So that's where it goes first. Insurance, that's a lot cheaper. Everything else, even rent, that's cheaper for me right now than my gas bill. It's kind of ridiculous where it's at.
When the price of gas rises 50 cents a gallon, that's an expenditure that could be an extra $50 a month or more for some long commuters. If it rose $1, that's $100 more a month out of pocket of many who are already living paycheck to paycheck. FutureMoneyTrends.com is expecting the U.S. to face the perfect storm of events that, when combined, will send gas prices past the breaking point for the average American. There are three major catalysts that will cause gas prices to reach this breaking point. Number one, the dollar is in a state of collapse caused by a continuous increase in the money supply by America's central bank. Two, instability in the Middle East and a potential war with Iran would greatly disrupt the supply of oil. Three, the supply of cheap, recoverable oil is dwindling along with a major increase in demand. The dollar. American debt has reached 100% of gross domestic product. During the next presidential term, the debt will reach a jaw-dropping $20 trillion. The current government spending level cannot be maintained unless more money is borrowed and printed into supply. The US dollar has lost 86% of its purchasing power since 1971 as a result of a complete severing of the dollar from any hard asset backing. This devaluing of our currency will continue to cause gas prices to increase because of the simple fact that the dollar is losing value. The Middle East. Israel has made statements that show that they have serious plans to attack Iran. Instability in the Middle East historically has caused rapid increases in gas prices for Americans. Iran has recently threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of global oil supplies are transported, Iran being the third largest exporter in the world. In 1974, during the oil crisis, gas prices had gone up 43% in the US in a little over a year, and continued to climb until the end of the 1970s. History is currently repeating itself, but this time gas prices are starting out at nearly $4 a gallon. Energy shock. Cheap oil is required for the American way of life. 50% of our energy needs are satisfied with oil. Demand for oil has been rapidly increasing in the East, where China in just 10 years increased their oil consumption by 3.6 million barrels per day. India increased their consumption by about 1 million barrels per day.
Gentlemen, gas is $4.43. The economy's kind of struggling. Has it affected your personal life yet?
Well, not yet, no, but If it keeps going up, certainly it's going to affect it.
At what point do you think the breaking point is for Americans? The economy is a consumer economy. Can we go $5-6 a gallon?
No.
I don't think so. My wife and I are from New Jersey. It's $3.50 something back there. It's $1 more out here.
America is built for $50 oil and $2 a gallon gasoline. The seriousness of our situation should not be overlooked. We have multiple forces that will drive gas prices past America's $5 per gallon breaking point. We will see rising gas prices caused by the decreasing value of the currency, a potential war with Iran, and dwindling supplies of crude oil across the globe. Rising gas prices caused by these three catalysts will break the backs of the American consumer, spiking prices to a point where present-day normalcy is no longer the reality. To learn more how you can survive and thrive the energy crisis, please visit and subscribe at futuremoneytrends.com.